Today is Monday, Parashat Emor. The beginning of the parasha seems to be redundant in its wording. It says, Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, and Hashem said to Moshe, Emor el Kohanim, tell the Kohanim, Bnei Aaron, the sons of Aaron, Ve'amarta alehem, and you shall tell them. And from this, Rashi quotes a teaching from Masechet Yevamot, Emor ve'amarta. Why is this the repetition? Say and tell them. Le'azhir gdolim al aktanim. To basically warn the gdolim, the adults, al aktanim, on the young ones that should be careful in educating their children. Kohanim have to be careful with many aspects of tahara and tum'ah, and therefore tell the Kohanim to educate well, to teach their children well, so that they will be careful as they grow up in terms of what the Kohen needs to be careful with. But Hachamim learns from this pasuk in general the idea of educating our children. And Hachamim explain also the words of Rashi, lehazir is to warn and to tell them to be careful. But there is another meaning for the word lehazir. Lehazir comes from the word zohar, which means radiance, which means shining. In other words, lehazir gdolim al aktanim, that the adults, the parents, should shine through their actions so that the children will learn from them. Because more important than what you preach with words is your actions. How do you act? How do you react to certain situations? What are the values that are important to you? Through what you do, the children will absorb that, and they'll learn from you a lot more than they will ever learn on a blackboard in a class, or when you tell them specifically, here I want to teach you something, and you give them a certain lesson with words. More importantly is how you act. And if you shine, if you shine through your actions, your children will learn from you, and they will learn from you, and they will emulate you, which they will. That's what tends to happen usually. I mean, just to give an example on the negative side, imagine yourself, you went to an amusement park, and the cost for a child below 12 is a certain price, above 12 is higher, and your son or daughter is 13 or 14, and you pretend that they're 12, and you pay for a lower price. Yeah, you may have earned a few more dollars in your pocket, but you taught a horrible lesson to your child, because through your actions, they'll learn that it's okay to not be truthful or to cheat and that type of thing. But if through your actions you're always truthful and kind, and in the way that you act you shine, then your children will absorb those ways that you act and those ways that you shine, and your children will emulate you. And that's what you obviously would want. So this pasuk at the beginning of the parasha, teaching us about the importance of teaching our children and serving as an example for them to follow, because they will absorb by example. They'll follow the way, most of the time or many times, the way that their parents act. So the idea, le'azir, is to shine through your actions, more important than what you preach through words. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.